Okay, this afternoon I'd like to talk on Unite with Holy Mother Han. In this speech on heart in the 12 talks, I think is a very good speech that all of us should try to read it if possible. The question that is posed is also very significant, which is which comes first, unity or love? Or for that matter, which comes first, unity, love, or ideal or truth? In order for us to realize God's ideal, we were created masculine and feminine. Unless male and female beings come together and are united, there is no way for God to express His love ultimately, which means that unity comes first. Unity is the measure of your love and the source of joy in marriage. If you have your counterpart entirely one with you, working with you towards one goal, joy comes about. When you're happy, there's always you, the subject, and someone else, the object with whom to share. In direct proportion to the degree of your love in being one with each other, your joy increases. So we have to understand that actually it is not truth that brings love, that brings unity, but it is unity that brings about love and also brings about the heart, depending on who you unite with, and also the truth will also be determined by who you unite with. This is a very important understanding. Okay. And I will illustrate from the time that Adam and Eve were supposed to unite with Heavenly Parent. So we know that after the creation of Adam and Eve became the center of God's love. They were put in the children's position and servant's position. Lucifer stands in the servant's position. We know that God's love for Lucifer remained unchanged. However, at the time of the Garden of Eden, God said that you should not eat the fruit from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. The day of it, you eat of it, you shall die. But the archangel said something very different. For God knows that in the day you eat of it, your eyes will be open and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. So we know very well that Eve united in heart with the archangel instead of uniting in heart with God. So this is a violation of God's heart. So if you look at basically again the unity, heart, love, and ideal, we can see that who you unite with determines the kind of heart that will be the outcome. So Eve united with the archangel, so she inherited the self-centered heart, not the heart of God and the self-centered love. And what about the ideal? Truth? No. They accepted the words of the archangel, which is twisted truth. Yeah, lies. That's why after the fall, one of the most serious fallen nature that we have is that from the Bible, Jeremiah 17:9, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? So this is how the fall took place. And we have to understand that unity comes first. Okay? Then only heart and love and truth. And who you unite with is so critical in deciding what kind of heart we inherit, what kind of love we inherit, and what kind of truth we inherit through that unity. So you know that Eve united with Archangel inherited the blood lineage. So we have to understand that love determines ownership. And Eve fell, the Archangel could rightly claim ownership over her and over all her descendants, fallen human beings. That's the tragedy of the fall. Yeah. So restoration history started with the two sons of Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel. One offered crops, the other offered animals. Yeah. So God accepted the offering of Abel but rejected the offering of Cain. And God knew that this would be very difficult for Cain. So he spent time with Cain. Why are you angry? And this is the guidance that God gave to Cain. Why has your countenance fallen? If you do well, will you not be accepted? If you do not do well, sin lies at the door. And its desire is for you, but you should rule over it. So God is basically trying to really guide Cain to overcome this self-centered heart that he has inherited through the fall. So it's a necessary process. That's the reason also why God accepted the offering of the secondborn rather than firstborn. Now, here again, Cain has to choose to unite with God, who spends time with him to guide him, or he has to unite with someone else that must have sympathized with him. So probably that person is the mother. So instead of uniting with God, she united with the person that sympathized him. Otherwise, he would not have that kind of heart to kill and murder his brother. So again, who you unite with is very, very important. Yeah. So this is a reenactment of the fall, and Cain united with the person that sympathized with him instead of uniting with God. Again, this is restoration of the failure that Adam and Eve committed at the time of the fall. Yeah. So it started restoration history is none other than restoring this unity that should have been with God. Yeah. And then in Noah's family, we have a situation where, you know, after the flood, Noah was the one who saved the whole family, all 8 members of them. Yeah. But Ham judged his father. Now, according to parents, God instructed Noah to be drunk and naked. Okay. But Ham brought his 2 brothers and walked backwards to cover his naked father. So if Ham had been one heart with Noah, he would not had no reason to feel ashamed at seeing his father's nakedness. He would have laid down together with his father and sleep beside his father, according to father. If so, when Noah awoke to see him naked, don't you think he would have blessed him, saying, "My son is just like me"? But instead, a curse of Ham was the result of his disunity with his father. So who should he have chosen? Why is it that he disunited with his father? Must be his mother. Mother must have expressed all kinds of dissatisfaction with the father, and Ham united with his mother, and because of that, the curse of Ham came about. Here again, unity, unity. So the mother obviously had taken care of the children, loved the children, but it was the father that saved the lives of the whole family. But that was not good enough, so he united with the mother instead of the father. So here again, in Noah's family, God wanted to restore this proper unity uh, so that God can then establish a new lineage, a new history. Now, in Abraham's family, I don't have to go through any details, Abraham was put in a very difficult situation. Prophecy was given that his descendants will number like the stars and the sand, and yet God asked him to offer his son, you know. So uniting with God makes him a murderer, okay? Just as the archangel at the time of the fall, lied by saying that you will know good and evil, uh, that, and also God is put in a situation where because he loved archangel less, he is faulted. So Abraham has to unite with God who made him a murderer, and also God is a liar because by taking the life of Isaac, he will have no descendants whatsoever. Yeah. And furthermore, uh, Isaac, who asked, "Where is the offering?" willingly offered himself as the offering, which means that he totally united with his father, even though this was cost his life. So this amazing unity of father and son that didn't take place at the time of Ham and Noah. So we know this restored the failure of this unity that came about from the fall. Now there are many other cases as well where Sarah was asked to be Abraham's sister. And I won't go into details, you know. Abraham dragged his wife away from a comfortable home to a foreign land, and he does not even want me to call him my husband, but my brother. So Sarah could have felt, what a lousy husband. He has only brought me misfortune morning, day, and night. He could have united in heart with King Abimelech, and become the queen. But she completely united with husband who did not treat her so well. So again, this unity was necessary to restore the disunity at the time of the fall. And then if you read the Bible, Isaac and Rebekah also had similar situation where he had something similar with King Abimelech as well. So here again, this is to restore this unity that took place at the time of the fall. And the unity between Sarah and Hagar. Sarah was barren. Sarah is the wife of Abraham, very pretty, very beautiful, but no children. So she gave Hagar, the Egyptian woman, and Abraham had a son, Ishmael, right? But later on, at a very old age, God blessed Sarah with a son, Isaac. But Sarah supposed to unite with, or rather, Hagar, she should have brought unity between her and Hagar, but she drove her out of the household of Abraham. And it's mentioned here, this division could have been restored at the time of Jesus, but it was not. What does that mean? Elizabeth drove out Mary from the household of Zachariah. We read this in the Talmud Moron. Elizabeth, before the birth of John the Baptist, Mary came to the household when Elizabeth was 6 months pregnant. But before the birth of John the Baptist, 3 months later, Mary was driven out by Elizabeth. Again, a very critical unity that was necessary so that Jesus can be protected by the household of Zachariah, Elizabeth, and Mother Mary. So in very critical unity was not established. So the only begotten daughter could not be born 2,000 years ago. And even true mother has to restore this situation at this time. And then the Leah and Rachel, I won't go into that. Rachel was a preferred wife to Jacob, but Leah stole her husband, So Leah, the elder sister, should have submitted to Rachel. This unity was very, very crucial. But Leah did not submit to Rachel. And because of this, the positions of Leah and Rachel as elder and younger sister should have been reversed. So that just like Cain and Abel, the elder should be younger and the younger should be elder. Yeah. So again, very, very important unity that should have been established between the two sisters. So here during this time, as we read Chamumaron, we are asked to meet, unite with, and attend Heavenly Mother by uniting with True Mother, only Holy Mother Han, who is the embodiment of Heavenly Mother. Okay? So to establish the eternal world of peace in the Cheon Il Guk era, all people must become one through the love of the Mother. Therefore, this is the age in which we must meet, unite with, and attend Heavenly Mother, who has been hidden until now through Holy Mother Han, True Mother. And this is very clear that True Mother constantly asks all leaders, all members to unite with Holy Mother Han. So Holy Mother Han is the name used only by True Mother, Only Begotten Daughter. Holy Mother Han is the True Mother, the Only Begotten Daughter, and the substantial Holy Spirit. The era for completing the providence of Cheon Il Guk is the era when True Mother, the Only Begotten Daughter, and substantial Holy Spirit appears as Holy Mother Han. Holy Mother Han is the Mother of Peace, the Mother of the Universe. Therefore, wherever people unite with Holy Mother Han, the completion of the providence and the realization of a peaceful world become possible. So since the proclamation of the Only Begotten Daughter in Las Vegas 2014, True Mother has been asking for leaders and members to unite with her totally as the substantial Holy Spirit. But she faced tremendous difficulty. Only after establishing Chongshim One was she able to get the unity from the pure water, from the second generation. And based on that, the era of the Only Begotten Daughter moved to the era of Holy Mother Han. And then that also brought about the victory for Heavenly Mother to be substantially present in this physical world through the victorious entrance of Cheon Il Sanctum. But to unite with True Mother, just as Jesus came with new truth and new identity as the only begotten Son, so in the same way, True Mother, the era of the only begotten daughter started also by True Mother asking leaders and members to unite with her as the only begotten daughter. And she gave new truth as well. Yeah. The truth centering on the essence of Heavenly Parent, essence of Jesus, and the essence of Christianity. Not easy also to unite with this new position, identity as Only Begotten Daughter, and then Holy Mother Han, and then the truth that is revealed as well. New truth is revealed as well. So this is a challenging situation for leaders and for members. Just as in restoration history, all the unity that needs to be established is also so challenging. So we too face this situation. And because the disunity was not absolute, that probably required True Mother to go the way of suffering, the way of sacrifice, in this time, 40 days now, being detained. So we have to understand why unity is so important, um, and even the unity between husband and wife, Most husband and wife don't unite because they don't feel love, But you cannot feel love without uniting. Yeah. So this is the fundamental understanding that we need to understand to bring unity, not only between us and Holy Mother Han, but unity with Heavenly Parent, unity between husband and wife, with our spouse, and with our children. So I end this